So first of all, we are going to take the Arduino. So we have taken the Arduino board. This Arduino Uno 3. Now we take the gas sensor. Here we get the gas sensor. So we put it over here. Now you could see that gas sensor is having 6 terminals. The first one is A1 and this one is A2, and this one is B1 and this one is B2. And these are the H1 and H2 which are that we are going to connect to the Arduino board. So first of all, the upper one we are going to sort individually to each other. This is how we do it. And this terminal, the upper terminal, we are going to connect to a 5 voltage power supply. So from this 5 voltage power supply would be supplied from these 3 terminals. Now the other one is that from B2 we are going to read the data. So we connect it to the analog pin and not to the digital pin, because the sensors mostly work under the analog pin and not digital pin. So that's why we connect it to the analog pin. Now these 2 terminals are left. As you know that a gas sensor is very sensitive, so we have to use a resistor. So here we use a small resistor over here. And first we have already supplied the 5 volt supply. Now we have not grounded the sensor, so we need to ground it. So first of all we do like this. And one more thing that we are going to we have to connect it to the ground. And these 2 terminals has to be individually sorted on each other. This is how we do it. So from this circuit, see first 3 terminals, upper 3 terminals that you can see is connected to the 5 voltage supply. Let me change the color. Right, okay. This pin we are that is analog A0. This we are using to sense the data fetched by the gas sensor. So let me change the color of it this purple. And these 2 terminals are individually sorted according to each other, and let it be green only, and this we are connected to the ground. Now our circuit, we have completed our circuit over here. Now we go on to the coding part. So let's go on. See, now this is our full code. And I have already written it before only because it may consume more time while writing this code. So first of all, we have taken 2 variables, gas value underscore 1024 and gas value 5 volt. And one more thing, that we are going to take it in a float variable because we are going to get the values in decimal points. Now in previous video I also explained why we use these 2 functions, because these 2 functions are compulsory. You can add any additional function to your code, but these 2 functions has to be compulsory be there in your code. And the void setup is used to run code once. The compiler would run this function only once in the runtime, while the void loop function would be run multiple times in your code. So in void loop we first initialize A0. That we have this you can see the A0 pin. This we have initialize to read that pin. We have to give this command to fetch the data that is sensed by the gas sensor, and we have written the command input, not the output, because we are going to get the data and get the value that is sensed by the gas sensor, and we are not going to get any output. We are first taking the values fetched by the sensor, so we write over here input. Okay. Now this is the serial begin. Now to initialize serial monitor or to display data, we have to use this function, that is serial.begin 9600, and this is the syntax, and that you have to use compulsorily to initialize this monitor. Now we go on to the next function, that is void loop. Okay. Now the data, now at A0 pin we have used the function analog read. Now this function, what this function will do is that this will read the data that is fetched by the sensor, or it is sensed by the sensor. It would read this, and this value would be stored under the variable gas value under the score 1024. Okay. Now, as you know that this analog pin will vary from 0 to 1023 value, but we want output in the form of, so we use this formula gas value 5 volt. We have just taken the variable name, and what we do is that whatever value we have got in the previous one, we multiply it by 5000 and divide it by 1024, so that we can get the value full. Okay. And at last we do serial.println. What this function will do is that in serial monitor it would print the value of gas value 5 volt that we are going to get from, because we are using new line, so that after each value. Okay, now let us start its simulation. So the simulation, so I'm not going to tell you that that the output won't be in millivolt, because we are going to get output in 1 to 5000 millivolt. That is 1 to 5 value that is 0 to 5 voltage. So but we haven't converted into the voltage. We are going to get output in the millivolt only. So we are going to get values varying from 0 to 5000. So let us start the simulation. We will get the values over here. See, if the gas is far away, you are getting the value as 415.04. As the gas comes nearer and nearer, the value would change. See, you could see that 869.14, and this is how once the gas increases to come, as the sensor senses more and more gas, the value would increase more and more. See, you can see from the runtime. See, now it changes to 1215 and it increases accordingly. So you can see the simulation. I could vary once more. See, once it goes far away, it goes like this. Once it comes. Okay, now we stop our simulation over here. Now I'm going to share one more thing, that different types of gas sensors that are currently available in the current market. Here are some of the gas sensor selection. See, there are different types of gas selection sensors that we can get from the market. Some of them are electrochemical sensors. You can see its advantages and disadvantages also you can see from this particular website. The different types of sensors are catalytic bead sensors, infrared sensors, and many more. You can refer to these sites. These are mainly for what purpose you are going to use which type of sensors. You can come to know from this website. One more website I have found out for you is that how gas sensors work. How to detect gases. This is the site. You could read this. How that sensor detects the gases. Here you can get the technologies, measurement of toxic gases, and many more.